we're supposed to look at that one. So we looked at it, and so on the third blade, looking at the just from using the incident graph, we can see that this is the device of this user, and this three. So on this part is a URL, on this part is IP, and processes that's being spawned from the device of this of the user. So just to go out, so we'll go ahead and just go through the sorry, go through the process tree. So looking at the process tree, we could see that this is user initialization.exe, and then followed by Explorer, which are normal process. And then at this point, a CMD was prompted. And then the next one was a PowerShell, where the command is in. So I think the assignment was to understand what this command line mean, and what this user is trying to do with the command line. So so in this case we dissected it. So but just by reading the command, it says PowerShell.exe -no exit, no execution policy bypass -Windows start hidden, error action preference equals silently continue, and then new object system.net.web client .download file, and then we have HTTP, so it's not like a website.exe, and then C. So by explaining this command line, so if we start again, we say, so it says no exit. So the attacker is using that prompt to ensure that the PowerShell interface they're using, or the PowerShell, is it remains active, that it doesn't exit. So they want to ensure it remains active. And then execution policy bypass. They're trying to bypass any execution policy that's in place. Maybe they've put in place an execution policy, a policy that says that you cannot execute any prompt on the PowerShell. So in that case, they're trying to bypass it. And then it says -Windows start hidden. So in this case here, they want to make sure that they want to make sure that their activity remain hidden in the background. So you could be the genuine user of the computer with not knowing that this activity is running in the background of your computer, of your device. And then here where it says error action preference equals silently continue. So they don't want any error messages to be prompted. So they want any error message that will prompt should just be silent. So no error message will be prompted on that particular device. And then here it's new object system.net.web client. So here now they are invoking web client to access this website, which is HTTP. In this case, that's HTTP 127.0.0.1/1. So trying to access that website in order to download a file named invoice.exe and save that file in this file path. So here is the file path is saving it is on, and then starting the process that they've downloaded in that file path. So basically that's what that command line is saying. And then we went further, and basically that's everything that is there. So in this case, the attacker is just trying to ensure the activity remains silent and go onto a malicious website to download and what's it called, a file that they've named invoice.exe. Usually an invoice should not come with .exe. An invoice should be, for example, maybe PDF or so. So that alone, in addition to every other thing in the command line, is a give out that something is fishy here. So I think that's at the moment, I think that's everything that has to do with this. So because by looking at all of this down here, because I think, can I hand over to you now?
Yeah, so leave this one. This one are just normal what's it called? Activity. So now like everything you did is solid, like and like I said, see, try to just take over the teams. Even if you are saying something that is wrong, all of us are here to correct each other. This is the best place for anybody to say anything offline or off key, because we're always going to correct each other. So like I would like all of us to get involved, because you see, forget the theory. The practical is the main deal. The moment you can break down what you see in the logs, then obviously you know what the attacker is trying to do. Like I think, I'm not too sure. I think the only gap, the only thing you missed is you see that place where it says C dash test dash what's it called? WATP.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it telling, like, you know what, download another file, another PUP. So that's two files being downloaded. But in
Okay.
this case, it's not like I said yesterday, like this is just a test file when you onboard Microsoft Defender. But I said, let's use this scenario. Let's say this is malicious. What will you do? How will you remediate? Then how do you even read this command line? So let's imagine, like, let's say like, okay, imagine we changed that 127 to maybe like an IP, external IP, or we changed it to maybe like, the alpha logic. Let's change it to that. Like, what do you think the attacker is trying to do? So like everything you said is spot on. Like okay, you know what, Windows style hidden, they don't want you to say anything, like like all those pop-ups, like silently, because obviously like they are downloading using the browser, and now you're saying any error action, we don't even care if there's any error. Don't shout. Just imagine like maybe like arm robber came into someone's house and they are eating the person, and at the same time they covered your mouth, like you should not shout, so you now alert the security guards, or maybe like you get. So now like, and anytime you see new object, system, net, web, client, just understand, like, what, they are trying to download something through the web. It might be through maybe HTTP, it might be through HTTPS. Like that's what the attacker is trying to do. So now imagine, like, let's say it's from, say, HTTP dot slash alphalogic.com. That's HTTP. Like this is happening on port 80. The moment you even say HTTP, obviously, like, what, this is a red flag. And so now let's now go further a bit. So let's say now, okay, this is malicious. How are we going to remediate this? What are the things we are going to look for? Like, anyone?
We're going to look for the file, the invoice executable file that was downloaded first.
And which other one?
Um,
You have two files. Yeah. So we are going to look for that file, the two files. But let's say that IP is still active. Like you can still reach out to that IP from your organization. Like say that IP is like say, let's change it to that alphalogic.com/1.exe. Before we even check the hash value, before we even check how many people have this file on their device, what do you think we need to do? Say that is alphalogic or say an IP. What do you think we need to do to that IP immediately where the file is being downloaded from?
I need to block it.
Block
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So we need to block. So that's why I always say, like, if you remember, like I always say, like, just have an open mindset. So flow with the alert based on priority. Like, okay, what do you think I need to do? Okay, yeah, it was downloaded from this place. Immediately, let me block this site. If it's an IP, if you can block it on endpoint, your EDR, then at the same time, so you can go and block this on your firewall. Like if you don't have access to firewall, if it's IP, send it to your infrastructure team or people in charge of firewall. Like, you know what, you need to block this IP immediately. This is calling out to this particular site and is downloading a malicious activity on the device. And the moment you see like no execution bypass policy, what do you think the attacker is trying to do? Anyone?
The attacker is trying to like what Ahmed said the other time, just to explore a little bit about it. It means that there are policies on the system that when you're trying to execute some PowerShell or some PowerShell script, there are some things that doesn't allow you to execute it, because some of the script that you might be executing might actually be able to compromise a core process on the system. So there are actually policies in place. So the execution policy bypass that was initiated here means that whatever is being done is going to be done without what should I use here?
Without
Without
consideration to the policy.
Yeah. So now let's say we have a policy whereby, for example, for you to even be able to run this, like in your organization, you must have maybe like a local admin permission. Or say, for example, before I come into your house, I must present this maybe ID or not. And now someone is now saying like, okay, let's override this so you won't detect this activity. So in this case, they are trying to override any policy you have in place. So the moment you see like, you know what, execute as a, what's it called, execution policy bypass, obviously, you know, like, okay, this is
You
a
can
red
change
flag.
it to something else you want to watch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So the thing is just focus on it and immediately like you want to break down the command line. So in this case, like this is what's it called? This is the test what's it called for Defender. So if you go to what's it called? If you go to, and if you go up a bit, go up a bit. So now if you okay now, so the thing is you see like now CMD prompt. That means like I myself, I interacted, I opened that same day prompt. If you can see the flow, like from Explorer, then Azure AD, Folution Fashion, like I opened CMD. Then after when I open this, for you to open CMD, it's going to run this command line cmd.exe for you to like open. Then scroll down a bit. Then now I pasted this command line. If you can see from CMD prompt, I can run PowerShell command. I pasted this command. You know what? From CMD, run this through PowerShell. And you can do the same thing too from PowerShell. You can run maybe like a CMD command line from PowerShell as well. Vice versa, you can do it on both of them. So if you scroll down, so from there you've seen the user, you know, like, okay, so now we did this like PowerShell in the background and whatnot. So that was what happened. If you go to system.
Sorry, go where?
System, go to system. So now that's why you see like, that's why I said we need to interact, take over, share the screen, because it's a learning curve for all of us. Now system, if you look at the first blade, that's where you have system.
Oh,
So like
okay.
you get.
Sorry, I thought we're still looking at.
No,
Okay.
it's not about, sorry. So the thing, that's why I said like just get familiar. The minute they say go to system, if I tell you go to hunting query, like you know, like you are leaving that page. So that's why I said like get familiar with everything here. It's a learning curve, so you still get used to it. So click on settings. then go to endpoint. And is it here? So go to onboarding. I just want to show you where the file is. So now scroll down. Yeah, can we see it now? So this is a test like when you're done onboarding your device to EDR for Defender for Endpoint, is going to generate an alert. So now imagine maybe you just resumed work and you saw this alert. Imagine you now reporting this alert as, if you remember the severity or risk level for this is high. Imagine you don't even understand what you have in here. And now you can even see the C test is telling you WDA, which is telling like this, like Windows Defender ATP test, blah, blah, blah. So now, like, even from the alert, you know what is going on. Imagine I reported this as, say something malicious is happening on a laptop and it is high severity. Maybe you raise this as P1. What do you think will happen to you? So that's why I said, come here, onboarding. You see that local script, click on that local script deployment method. That deployment method. Yeah. You see this, even as a level 1 is what you need to know. I've been on several interviews whereby they are going to ask you, how many ways can you onboard a device to the endpoint? Now you can see local script, group policy, Microsoft this, all these things, like copy them or even screenshot it. Go use your this thing to explain like, okay, how can I onboard using all this here? Or even search for it. Like, I cannot teach everything, but I'm taking you through the fastest shortcut. And like I said earlier, cybersecurity or anything in IT and personal study goes hand in hand. So like all this, like imagine you are doing an interview and you said, okay, you've used Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. I will just ask you like, okay, how many ways can you use to deploy or to onboard device? If you don't try it, if you don't come here to click, you cannot even if I'm like saying something to your ear, you won't even be able to like comprehend whatever I'm saying because you didn't see it. But if something you've seen before that you've done research on, you'll be able to flow. You'll be able to like tell the person, you know what, I know this and I've tried this one before. I've onboarded one device before. I've onboarded 2 devices. How did you go about it? I came to local. I clicked on local script. Click on local script for me. Yeah, then from there, scroll up a bit. I think, is it scroll up or down? Scroll up, then change the connectivity type, change it to standard. Now you can explain like, okay, I onboarded the device, I changed it to standard, then I selected local script, then I downloaded the package. So after downloading the package, I copied it. If it's a server, if it's maybe like one of the devices of maybe like someone, then I copied it. I sent it to the person via Teams and I downloaded it to their device and I onboarded their device. After I did that, scroll down, then I ran the detection test. And after running the detection test, then it generated an alert. So now, if you don't try this or you don't even say this to yourself, how will you be able to answer the question? So that's why I said the other day, like, you know what, onboard your device. And if you know you want to onboard your device, know like you do, if you have any malicious, maybe like all these are you bought, you downloaded all these software whereby you've used crack, EDR is going to remove all of them from your device. So if it does, then you can go and tell it to release this from quarantine and have it on your device. Then at the same time too, if you have anything malicious on your device, it's going to clear everything out, generate an alert. Then you can see for yourself what you have on your device. Then if you know like, okay, you want to remove your device from our EDR, then you come to offboarding. So go to offboarding. So when you come to offboarding, this is where you download. So now deployment, depending on the deployment method you used, now you can download the script. Now in this case, if you download the script, then you copy that script, take it to that particular device. Then what do? You run the script. It's going to delete your device from this EDR. So now you see like the different operating system. If you click, like if you want to de-offboard, like it's going to tell you, okay, Windows 10, Windows 11, and Mac OS, or like click on it, like select operating system. You see. So now these are the things you need to like, because they will ask you like, okay, can you onboard server 2008? What will you say? Yes. 2019, 2022, 2025, like everything you have there. So even if you download the SaaS, download that, what's it called? All these virtual box and spin up and do everything you want to do. Yeah, you can do it. You can even spin up a virtual box, go to any run, download any malware, run it on it, then now go to Defender, go and see, maybe you're going to get an alert. When you see the alert, then you want to check what happened. So this is how you improve yourself, and you can create a lot of use case and tell them, okay, yeah, this is what I've done. So that's now when it comes to, if you go to device, that's under assets. Yeah, so click on devices. So you see now, I think only 2 people, this is my own device, like you see, like AD joint device, and the other one for, what's it called, for Bolaji Tayo, is on iPad. So now like this, I can, if you click on that device, on Bolaji one, you see if there's any alert, inventories, if you click on inventories, you can see all the software on that device. You see, like now, say you want to, say this is an enterprise environment and we have alert for vulnerability. Here we can see there's a vulnerability on his device, which is iPhone OS. Now we can see installed version. Click on the iPhone OS. Yeah. Now it's telling us like, okay, this is exploitable. So in this case, it needs to what? Update his iPad to the latest one. So now imagine this is an organization, you just have to send a message to the security, to the, what's it called? To the people in charge of vulnerability. You know what? Okay, these devices are outdated. Can you update it? Or sometimes you might even send a message to the user, you know what? You need to update your iPhone, which I do a lot of times too as well. So like
I've
if you
actually
onboard,
sent a message to the user.
hello?
Sorry to continue. I say I've sent a message to the user before now.
Yeah, okay. So now in this case, like you can send a message to the user, like, you know what, update your device. So these are the things you can do. Okay, thanks. So like you see, like you just have to play with the tool. Then from there you have a lot of insight into what the tool can do. So yeah, so that's it with that particular alert. Yeah, is there any question? Anyone? Can we all explain this alert now? Or can we read command line and read the logs? Okay. Like I said to what's it called, in the last class as well, like you need to get involved. And I like the way Ahmed is getting involved, because this is what you are going to meet at work equally when you start working. And they might tell you, like, you know, you need to explain this. And on the first day, there's what we call reverse shadow. So now reverse shadow is like, for example, now let's say like the way we say, maybe like say, for example, Ahmed just joined this organization. Now when you join, you are going to shadow me. I'm going to onboard you for like the next 2 weeks. I will show you different alerts, that how this how to resolve it. Then maybe like the following week, the 3rd week, there's what we call reverse shadow. Now any alert they will give you back to you. You know what? Resolve these alerts. And sometimes the guy like me will be there, your team leader might be there, and sometimes your manager might be there. They want to see how you are going to resolve this alert, and they will be asking you questions. So now that's why I say, like, try, put in effort. Like, this should even be competitive. Like, just share the screen, say whatever you have to say. Anybody can correct you. I can just point in the right direction. Don't think because you are saying jargons. No, you have to say it. Yeah, I was like you too at a point in time. So like, let's just improve and get involved, because obviously we have like limited maybe weeks left. So now this is the best time for us to engage each other. So now, can you click on investigation and response?
Incident on incidents.
Yeah. Click on alerts. I think let's see alerts. Click on 30 days. Scroll down. So let's see. Scroll down like to the last. What was it called? So you see the third one. Can you open it in a new page? So this, can you walk us through this? What do you think happened there?
Okay.
Anyone, like the way the screen is, can anyone explain like?
Okay, I think this user fully functional. I think the parent process started from the kernel. That's the heart of the system.
Yeah.
And from there it jumped to the user's the child process is responds to the child process, and afterwards except if you have to help him to open it down, so maybe we could read into it.
Yeah, you can click expand all.
Okay, yeah. So the user session, so let me see what it's even okay like this. So yeah, from the user section here, let me see. Okay. Everything is actually okay here. The virus total is 0. So it's still the same user here doing trying to log into the system. So can you go down a little bit? Okay. So okay. So yes, so the win login, which is the process that we have here, the user tried to log on to the system, and there was a command line that was actually initiated.
Yeah.
And that was stems from the system 32. So everything was still okay here.
Yeah. So before you go down, I'll just help you a bit. So now you see, like, you remember we talked about the Windows core process, where we talked about all those activity, the kernel, which is the heartbeat of the computer. I like the way you talked about on, like, from the low level to the SMS, which is a session manager subsystem. Then from there to like Windows login, like that's when like you log in into the Windows, like. So now scroll down so you can take over from there.
Okay, so from here there was a command line, and this was initiated after the user logged into the system. And let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, go down. Nothing happened here. Everything is fine here. Okay, just wait a minute. Okay.
So the Explorer is when you have the GUI, like give you access to the GUI, if you remember, under Windows core process.
Yes.
So now scroll down.
Yes, exactly. Just like you said, that's the Explorer, like the interface of the system. Yeah. So from here, this command line was initiated on the Windows, and let me see. So that generated a SHA file path. Okay. So
So
what happened here was, let me just pause.
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to explain from that at 957.15. That one alone. You see that tab alone where we have Microsoft Edge. Can you explain what happened there? Or can anybody explain what happened there? So you can just tell us what happened. Like, yeah, just leave it like that.
The user run a command accessing Microsoft Edge and saying it should not pop up a window alerts. So it's like running the browser and without the page, without the window page.
Yeah. So here this is when you open Windows browser, like you yourself, like when you interact like with Windows browser. That's what happened there. So now that you understand what happened there, can we link it to the next phase? What happened there? if you scroll down, like the next one, the next tab. So what do you think happened? What do you think the user, like the guy, what did you think he tried to do? Yeah.
The user downloaded the file,
Spot on.
which is the windows.exe.
Okay. So what else can we see?
If you can break it down, the mark of the web, let's see the Fortinet defigen.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Like if you can drop down the windows.exe. Okay. Okay, that was so yes. So when the user downloaded this file, this windows.exe, let me see.
I think the user went to this website to download this file.
Yeah, that's right too. Anyone, I would like everybody to get involved.
So
like, let's make this interactive. Yeah.
I think inside this file was the URL defigen.fortinet.sandbox.
So now, like, take your time. Like, I always say, like, patience. So if you read, so like to answer your question, like you yourself, like from you see where you see mark of the web, read everything in that tab. That will answer your question. So what do you think happened on that URL? And relate it to the file. Ahmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, accept my request. Okay, here. Can you see my mouse?
Yes.
So from here, what happened? Here, this place. What happened here? So what do you think happened with this website? So what did you happen when the user went to this website? Anyone? Or you yourself?
Was sandbox?
No. What do you think happened? This is a URL. What happened when the user went to this URL?
It was generated.
No, the answer is there.
They download the file. The user went to the URL to download the file.
Download URL. This file you see here was downloaded from this website. This is the website the user went to download this particular file. And now, like, looking at this file, like, is it suspicious? Windows.exe, like Windows that you're like.
Yeah, it's
So
suspicious.
Yes.
Yeah, that's suspicious. So now, like, even like say you want to even download, for example, just 30 seconds. So let's say you want to download Windows 11. You want to install. Say this is Windows 11. So let's say this is even Windows 11 or even Windows Server 2H something something. Here, like from here, can you pick out the red flag? Say this is Windows Server 2H2 or something, Windows 2019.
The
From here,
pack technique says
no, just process. Say someone downloaded a Windows file, like wants to install a Windows operating system.
I think the
Now,
source file parts.
just check. Something is going to tell you like this is not legitimate.
the size.
The size. You see this question, I asked you. It was an interview question. They brought a screenshot like this and they changed this to say maybe like Windows Server. From here, can you tell me? And the person, they will tell like, oh, this user worked as a security analyst or within the infrastructure. Now from here, what can you tell us? And this is Windows Server or Windows something. The file size. So that's why I said, if you remember, I said anything can be indicator of compromise. So the moment you see the file size, you know, like obviously, this is not a Windows file. And now this name alone too is an indicator of compromise. So sometimes you might see something like CR download. It will generate an alert when you are working, especially when you are using maybe like all these Cisco EDR. You might see a lot of alerts like this. So now in this case, that means like when this user was downloading this particular file initially, it didn't download everything. So you see like this CR download. When the download is done, that's when you see the name like this. So sometimes you might be downloading a malicious activity, a malicious file, then your EDR is going to stop the download. The moment you see this and they send this one to you, that shows like, okay, that file didn't download like completely. So you need to understand some of these things. So in this case, so now that we have identified that, okay, in this case, the user downloaded the file. From the file part, we can see the user downloaded this particular file, but from this particular location. So what are we going to do to this file, to this website? Anyone?
We block it first. We block the URL.
We block the URL. But now let's say the person that has performed this activity is your CISO. Like that perform this activity. What will you do? Then when you have this file, the domain, what will you do to the domain?
So the person that performed the file, this
activity is a CISO, you say your manager, let's say in this case. What do you think? What do you think he might be doing? And do you think like, okay, he downloaded a malicious file and he compromised his device? What do you think he might be doing? Two options.
He might be doing pen testing
Test.
or sorry, malware analysis. So I think pen test. But then the concept of zero trust.
Yeah, so that's why I say zero trust. So that's why you have to test, and you yourself, you have to go and check. What do you think this file is all about? Because now we can see, do we know Fortinet? Any one of us?
Yes.
That's Elubim, yeah.
No, Fortinet.
No,
Fortinet is
Fortinet.com.
a firewall provider.
Yeah, and they do a whole lot of things. So the moment I see Fortinet, filegen.fortinet, before an attacker will create this site, this maybe like where you say like filegen blah 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 .fortinet, that means like they've compromised them like on 1000%. Because the minute you try to create like a big organization like this, they will see it immediately and they will bring it down. They will delete all these malicious file from their web page. So in this case, the moment let's say I'm the one working, if I see this alert, obviously I will know, like, you know what, this is a test, a security test. They are trying to see our security posture, like to say, okay, is it going to pick up this file, this malicious file? So what you can do is you can copy this file, and let's see. Can you click on and let me see. Open a new page. I think this should be. Can you copy this link for me and paste it to your browser? So let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, copy it and paste it in the browser.
All
As
right,
if you want
just
to
directly
visit.
like that.
Yeah, paste it directly. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
It won't compromise your device. So it didn't give us access. But if you want to try this out, you can go to Fortinet, maybe like type Fortinet online and say, okay, a malicious test file. It's going to take you to this site whereby you can use them to create an alert, and from there you can come and analyze any activity related to that particular file. But this time it didn't give us access to the site. So go back to the alert itself. That one. So if you scroll down, but now, like I said, let's say this is actually malicious. We are going to block Fortinet.com directly. So nobody within the organization will be able to, what's it called, go to this particular website. But in this case, if you scroll down a bit, so now let's say this particular file was not quarantined on the user's device. What are we going to do? And in this case, if you read the remediation details, it says is runtime packed, false, threat name, remediation action, remove, remediation action, result, success. So in this case, the EDR quarantined this particular file. So you won't see this file on the user's device anymore. But let's now say in this case,
add the hash value. Sorry.
No, so now the EDR did not quarantine the file. What will you do?
At the moment, and then we've also figure out that it's a malicious file that the user have downloaded, either intentionally or not. In that case, I would maybe put up the user's device for isolation first.
Isolation.
So
Yeah.
you cannot just isolate a device.
I think if you add the hash value, if you get the hash value, we put it on our EDR, it will be able to quarantine it immediately. When we add the hash value to our EDR that is malicious, it will indirectly quarantine it on the device.
Yeah,
And
spot on. So the moment you add the hash value of that file to quarantine, it's going to delete that file from everybody's device in your organization. And let me give you another scenario. When you start working, you see some cases whereby remediation action you will see remove, and remediation action results you will see failed. So that means in that case, what do you think happened there? That means it was not quarantined. Then just do it manually yourself. Add that hash value immediately to a list of indicators. It's going to delete that particular file on every device in your organization. I know sometimes, like during interview, you might tell like, you know what, you will search the hash value to see if you have it on any device or devices within your organization. Yeah, you can do that one too, which is good. But if you report or add it immediately, add it to your IOC list, it's going to delete it from every device or devices in your organization. So now, can you scroll down? So now in this case, you will see like, okay, that particular one was prevented. But you see on that device again, what did the user do again? That same user.
he went ahead and opened another CMD to copy.
So take your time. Before the command line, something happened. By analyzing that command line, what do you think happened? What did the user do again? Like, take your time. Before you analyze it. Yeah.
User downloaded that's Windows.bat.
Downloaded this again. So like I said, like you need to understand how to break down this. So now imagine me asking like, oh, like what happened there? The first thing is user downloaded this. So this user downloaded, you are going to have users like this user. Like you see them just be downloading and downloading, and you see some just be clicking and clicking. So in this case, the user downloaded this. And downloading, it triggered this like CMDC, and can you scroll down for me? And where did it download it from? The file. Yeah. Can we see? Where did it download this file from?
Ica.com.
Ica.com. So now you see this Ica, all this file, all this, where you see Ica. When you see Ica, you can go to the website to read about it. When you see this, obviously, know that someone within your team is doing a security test, but at the same time, we need to implement what? There's something we need to implement. Don't just rely on this. What do we need to rely on? I think someone said it earlier.
Zero trust.
Zero trust. At the same time, to still confirm from the user, because now an attacker can just name any file ICAR test. So in this case, this one is legitimate. I did this. It's like a security test. So now, if you click on back alert to details. Okay, let me just click it here. So can you click on manage alert? So what classification will you use to resolve this? Or what classification will you select? Or will you choose rather in this case? If you click on classification, all of you need to like get involved in this. So you want to resolve this alert. Your manager said, okay, you know what, this was prevented, but I need you to go and classify this. So now let me tell you one thing. In my role, and one of my role in the past, one of the things I do is categorization of alerts. So now let's say you've closed maybe like 100 tickets, 200 tickets in a month. Me as maybe like at that high level, my job is to classify every alert in, say, the service now. So in this case, if you want to classify or say categorize this alert, what will you categorize or classify this as?
Since if we've confirmed that it's a test, I think
yeah, answer go.
We classify that security testing.
Yeah. So it's security testing. But let's say you don't have security testing. What else can you choose? Anyone?
So is it confirmed activities?
Yeah, confirmed activity because you confirmed it from your CISO. So that's why you see like when you are closing your alert. So the thing is just be open-minded. Just check, okay, what do we have here? Like, okay, security testing, confirmed activity. Then now, so in this case, what will you choose?
Security testing.
Yeah, click on it and now click on save. So, and now let me now say this. You know, like if you check the assign to, it says API automated investigation and response. So now sometimes in interview, they will ask you like, okay, imagine, let's say this was prevented. This alert, for example, this one was prevented and resolved by your EDR. Do you need to still go and check the alerts and check whatever happened? Or do we just need to ignore and just leave it?
It's better we check.
Why?
To know the behavioral and to see maybe there was a mixed up or something.
Yeah, so you need to check. It might be behavioral. Then sometimes imagine like you have like close to maybe like a lot of activity and your defender only resolved maybe 2 and prevented maybe 5 and detected 3. Now imagine there's detected that your ADR didn't react to. In that case, now these attackers are still in your environment. And maybe let's say the one that was detected was maybe like a persistence. What do you think will happen? They will be in your environment. And that's what we call dwell time. If you remember, we talked about dwell time. And at the same time, like I said, dwell time is another interview question. They will ask you, what is dwell time? That's just the number the attacker they spend in your environment before they are being detected. So can we go to another alert? Are we all learning? Are we all, do we think this is interesting? Are we getting?
Yes, boss.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, a question, sir.
Yeah.
We know the incident is a combination of different alerts. But now, if you are in a work environment, are we going to treat the alert individually or we treat it with like the incident?
So now, like, what is alert? What is incident? It's not every alert, it's not every event that leads to incident.
Yeah.
some it might just alert you. So that's why you see, like, if you go to incident, you will see some alert in the event. And when you go to alert, you won't see it there. Vice versa. So if you click on incident and you see some things there that you won't even see in alert, or something that you see in alert that you won't see in incident. So that's why, like, you just need to understand, like I said, understand the name, the terminology. That will help you when you are trying to even have conversation with anybody, or even you resolving wherever you have in here. So now you see, like, we have the ICAR test that was prevented. Then there's one thing I wanted to do today that I would have done, but I don't want to compromise our device. If you scroll up a bit, scroll up. Up. Yeah, that one, emotet. Can anybody tell me what emotet is? Because we talked about it during the training. Anyone? Can anyone tell me? If you remember where I said, like, okay, this is like something banking, wherever.
Yeah, it's Trojan, banking Trojan.
Yeah, banking Trojan. Yeah. So now, like, this one, I just simulated this one this morning. So what I did was I went online to go and download this malicious file, and I ran the file on my device. It's a Word document. If you can see, if you click on expand all. Yeah. So now if you see, like, you can see this user likes to just download. And now you can see that I downloaded this particular file. And in this case, we can see the activity of the EDR. But if you go to the alert timeline, I think some things are missing. I think I saw. Click on view incident page. Yeah. So from here, what can we observe on even face value immediately? Anyone, like, looking at this?
You can see how the user, what the user is interacting with. So that's the user on this part, and that's the device. And then here's the document, and then here's talking about the process that was invoked.
On face value, something is unique there. What is it? Like, me looking at it.
In the world.exe.
.exe.
Yeah, .exe. Something like is interesting there. If you look at the command line when the user opened the Windows Word.exe, like the particular file, we can see the command line in there.
Is it the IP?
Not the IP. There's a command line there. Like,
is it the Office WMI run PowerShell?
here.
-N. Oh, so /N.
C and
Sure.
everything doc/o and the likes. I don't know what -N is. I don't know what -o is, but we need to find out what we have here. So now the first thing was, if you look at the time, detected, maybe prevented. If you remember, I said detected. So imagine it was detected and nothing happened. It didn't prevent it. It didn't quarantine it. It didn't stop all the process. And you just check the alarm. Okay, you know what? This was detected and that's been resolved. But you didn't check what happened after. But in this case, now click on detected first, the first one. This. Yeah. And now, do we have any information here? Like a lot of information? No, it only says detected. So imagine, like, say now, like, this EDR is, say, the security guard guiding your estate. So now imagine, like, now they detected an armed robber, and that was the only thing they did. they didn't check, okay, did they went, for example, someone's house, or did they go to maybe like a mall around the estate? You don't know what happened after. In that case, if they tell you, wake you up the next day, like, okay, oh, we detected this, or we saw this, but we didn't do anything after, will you keep them? No. So in that case, you as a security analyst too, when you see anything that says detected, you need to make sure you understand what happened after you either detected that malicious activity. It might be behavioral, it might be false positive, it might be true positive. You need to know, you need to understand what happened. So now if you click on an active Office WMI run PowerShell malware in an Office VBA script was prevented from executing via AMSI. If you remember, we talked about Windows, I think Windows, that was Windows management instrumentation. If you remember, our attacker can keep persistent. So now this one, can you expand on? So here, what did we think happened here? Like anyone, can we just run through the process? Anyone can just take us through this process. Let us all contribute, because you can use this as a use case when you are doing your interview. They ask you, like, tell me about maybe one alert you've resolved that is of interest. This one is of interest. Write it down, how you resolve it, how you write your analysis, and you can use it as an interview question. You can spend 20 minutes on this. Tell them the user downloaded this particular Word document. Maybe the user like worked in the HR department or accounting department and wanted to use this as a template. So now, can anybody walk us through this chain of events?
So the user started the process through from user init.exe, then walked through to explorer.exe. Then scroll up, please. And the user run the command line winword.exe.
So hold on, let me help you there. So now here you see that winword.exe. You are going to see that when you open a Word document on your laptop. You are going to see this, but the uniqueness here is the command line that we can see /n. Is it new? Is it like, these are the things you want to check on your own. Then /o, you want to understand what we have there. But in this case, the user opened a particular file, and the name of the file is emo.doc from the download folder. So now the first thing here is this user downloaded this particular file. So from there, you can continue. Yeah, you can continue.
So the user downloaded a particular file from the em.doc.
Before you go further, is there any red flag here?
Yes, there's a space between the doc and the slash.
Doc and the
Okay. Yeah, so now you can see the command, everything. So now go down. No, before you go down, can you analyze this? What do we think happened there?
Yes.
Can you explain? Everybody, all of you are doing it together. Can you explain what happened there?
What was open was trying to query and search like system discovery, system information discovery.
Yeah,
That's
next one. Yeah, there's a lot of activity going on here. Can you just explain them the way you just understand? Don't stress yourself too much about it. Anyone?
So from WMI EX query, it's saying select from window 32, which is window 32 to computer system product.
Yeah.
And then the next one, which is saying from window 32 to to this drive where the device ID like physical drive.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you see, like, so now, yeah, what do you think the attacker is trying to do?
The attacker is trying to query, like find information, just trying to.
So what do we call that? If you remember on MITRE ATT&CK chain, what do we call that?
System decoding.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah, spot on.
Reconnaissance.
So that's reconnaissance. So now you see what this attacker is trying to do. So now imagine like someone telling you like, okay, have you dealt with emotet before? You can tell them like you've analyzed an emotet alert before. That didn't lead to system compromise. But if you can tell them like everything you see in this content, like you know what, this is what the file, the malicious file, was trying to do. And in this case, this is a I had to enable macro. I don't know, maybe you've downloaded any Microsoft file or Excel that will tell you like, you know what, you need to enable macros. So the moment I enable that macro, it's going to run all this command line automatically without the user's interaction. This is what happened in this case. When I downloaded that particular file, when I opened it, I enabled the macro, then it triggered all these things like non-interactively without even your own input. So this is what happened here. And you can see they are doing reconnaissance like Windows 32 process get object. You can see process startup and stop prop value command lines. And now, what can we see again? There's something that is highly important here. There's something here. Do you understand it?
It is in the Windows system, Windows style ED.
Yeah. So what do we think happened there? Anyone?
To set up set prop value command line PowerShell dash Windows style ed dash encode. So I think it's related to what the one we talked about earlier, that just trying to ensure that the activity remains hidden.
Yeah, I know, but what happened there? What did the attacker do?
I think after getting the information, they run the PowerShell hidden, but the thing they run was encoded. You can't see the script they run because it's been encoded.
Olu, I like what you did here. So this is another interview question. You will see that they will give you like this, like if you see EN or encode, what do you think it means? The attacker is trying to encode wherever you have in here. So now what do you think we have to do? We understand what we have here? There's what we call deobfuscation. They don't want you to see wherever they are doing. They are hiding wherever they are doing. So now what do we need to do to this one? This information.
We try to decode it.
So now how do we decode this?
Can we do it on CyberChef?
You're asking me a question. Me, I'm asking you a question. You're asking me a question too. So,
I suggest CyberChef.
So yeah, copy it, and let's see. So what base do we think this is?
B64.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the flaw is yes. Yeah. We are learning from you.
So output.
So what will you do next?
This is the hands now.
You can drag it. You can drag that from B64 to the recipe.
What did you say?
You can drag them that to basis to no, drag the two.
So delete one out of it. So for you to delete, so you click on it like this. Click on it. and you click delete, or sometimes you can drag it, like you drag it down here. I don't know, it's slow. Or you can click this. Can you click on one and just delete? Correspond. Okay, yeah. So just drag you one from base64 once. Yeah. So now, can we see what we have here? This is us decoding whatever information we have in here. So now, how do we remove this null here? Anyone? If you are not too sure, you know what? Type null here, N-U-L-L. So now, drag that remove null byte and drag it underneath the base64. So now, what do we think we have here? Does it make sense to anybody? This information we have in here. Yeah, anyone?
It looks like we have the command. I mean, we
Yeah, I
still
know,
need
like
to
we have.
do.
Yeah,
We
but
still
do you
need to do.
understand what we have in here?
No, because I would say I still need to find out, because we have -F. What
It
does
still look
-F
like
mean?
decoding.
So we need to like search for what those commands mean.
So now, like, let's copy everything you have here. Let's copy it on a notepad. Me too, I'm learning, but let's see what we can make out of this today. So now that SV, that means like a set variable. So come down and type, can just type set variable, then dash O. Yeah, that means set variable. So now the 0x, so delete from, delete the, I'm not too sure about delete, you know, the, okay, no, let's just do it. So now you see, type, copy that syst.
This one.
Syst. Yeah, copy it. Come under variable, you can put it beside it. Now, copy E, add E to it.
Beside it or under?
Beside. Then add M to it. So delete that dash and add everything together.
But with space in between them.
Yeah, delete the space.
Oh, system.
Delete that last space too. Yeah, and put space or dots. Let's use space. No, there's dots. I think that's .io, right?
Yeah, .io.
.io. So now add .io. Paste it there. Then space. Put DI. Copy the DI. Then copy the directory. Add the directory together.
System directory.
So that's what the attacker is trying to do. This is the command line, set variable system directory. So you are going to see a lot of alerts like this. Sometimes then let's put -F. So I don't know what the -F means, but like you can use any AI. Like if you copy this to AI, so bring the copy the set variable
like that.
No, put the set variable. It's going to be set variable, I think. Or you can put SVA. So put it there. Anyway, so let's copy this to maybe like any tool, or maybe Google to see like what the attacker is trying to do. So you can go to any of your choice and like, okay, I saw this command line. What do you think the attacker is trying to do? So just do, yeah. Yeah. Enter. So what do you think the attacker is trying to do here based on this? So you see, like I talked about obfuscation the other time. They are trying to cover wherever they are trying to do with this particular command line. So in this case, like let's say you are not even like an incident responder, you are not level 3, but at least you can decode. The moment you just put this information on your ticket, your incident responder will know like, okay, this is what they need to look out for. At least you've done like 60-70% of their job for them. So now if you can explain this one to anybody on interview, like, okay, I did this, I went to CyberChef, I did this one, I did that. You don't need to explain in depth, but from there they will know, like, you know what, in later on you will become an asset because you can break this down to the level whereby a lot of even people out there, some even level 3 cannot even do this. They cannot break it down to this level and even rearrange everything back. So that's why I say, like, the moment you understand wherever you see in a log, and the more you read logs and more you read, you understand some of these things. Like when you see, you know, like obviously this is what the attacker is doing. For example, let's go back to that alert. If you remember the one where we saw web client blah blah blah, that one. Do we remember the first alert we did? No, just scroll down. No, yeah. So I'm just trying. Okay, now come here. Okay, open that first alert.
The one we did.
Yeah. Just click on it. So click on that PowerShell bypass. So now imagine, like, expand. Imagine, like, for example, after like you decoding a particular file, let's say this was what's it called, encoded. Imagine the moment they now like try to maybe like play around with the words. The moment you see new, you see OB, you see JECT, you see net, you see client, you see web, you see system, you will be able to rearrange everything because it is what you have seen before. That's why I said patience, reading, and paying attention to details. So now you are like one step ahead of the threat actor, because if you don't know how to read log, you are going to suffer in this job. But you see what will set you apart. You, level 1, level 2, level 3, incident responder, is your ability to break down logs like this. For example, me, I've worked as an incident responder. And you see that incident responder role, I love it so much when I did it then, because you are just like a SWAT team. Like, you know, we have police, you have SWAT. Police, they use you for every job out there. They call you, you go there. But you see, SWAT is when they need you that they will call you. Like all of us, we know SWAT, and when we watch all these Yankee movies, American movies, Hollywood movies, you don't just see SWAT anyhow. They call them when they have all this high-profile job. So you as a security, you as an incident responder, that's when they will call you. Maybe like when your team cannot resolve a particular incident, that's when they will now throw this to your queue. So sometimes then I might not even work for we'll be working and I won't even receive any call for 3 days. I'll just be doing normal BAU activity. But whenever I see my team calls like ring like this, I know okay, there's an incident, then I need to break it down. So what will separate you from level 1, 2, 3 in closing down alert is your ability to break down this log you have right in front of you. So that's why like another one of the important soft core skills you have to have as a security analyst, our ability to break down a log like this. So if you go back to that alert, the one we were working on, the emotet one. So now like you see now we understand what the attacker tried to do here, from reconnaissance to encoding this particular information they have in here. So now let's go down a bit. So now expand that reference command line. Let's see if there's anything in there. No, the other one. Go up a bit. Expand the next one. Yeah, that place. Yeah. Do you have any information here? So now in this case, let's take this hash value to virus total to see if this is malicious. So what do we have here? What can we see here?
That the hash file is malicious.
This is highly malicious. 47 out of 62 people reported this as malicious 25 days ago. So we have to reanalyze. Now 48. So now if you scroll down, you can see a lot of information here like that you can use. So now sometimes they might give you an hash value like this, which I've seen in a test before you join the organization, like before even the interview, they will tell you like, okay, what is the name of this particular malware? You have everything right there. You can see all the activity the malware can perform. Create OLE, call WMI, auto open, detect bug macros, like you can see everything, long sleeves. When you see long sleep, what does that tell you? Anyone? Long sleep, what do you think the attacker is trying to do? Anyone? I talked about it earlier on, like when you see long sleeps. Yeah?
They're trying to stay in the system.
What are they trying to do? I know they are trying to stay, but what's the name? There's a name for it.
Wait time.
Persistence.
Persistence. They are trying to keep persistence. So now, like even you seeing this, you understand by just breaking down what you see when you are doing your OSINT. OSINT is open source, using your let me say, using open source intelligence. The way you are using it is going to break down wherever you have in front of you. From there now, I understand what this malicious
my
file
was muted. I didn't know.
attacker can do. And you can see runtime modules. So now like this one will give you insight into what this attacker can do. And now this is emotet, family label. And you can see threat category, downloader, Trojan. And if you scroll down, let's maybe we can see any other information there. And so now you can see what the attacker like, what they can do. So scroll up, let's go up a bit and see other information we have here. So now click on details. It will give you like see other information out there. So now you see the details. Now from here, you can get access to other SHA files, MD5, SHA-1256, and everything. Creation time, the day this was created, you can see the date, last analysis, everything. Then scroll down. Let's see. So now look at it. They name different names. These attacker that they've named this particular file. You can see all of them here. mo copy, mo1 doc, and everything. So now let's go back up as well again. So now click on relations. So see how you can use OSINT to get a lot of information. So now see different bundle files that you can see in this particular file. Like you can see detections 50 out of 61 VBA. And you see that IP address. What do you think happened to that IP address? Let's say Defender did not prevent this particular malware. What do you think will happen to that IP? Anyone? What do you think is going to happen from your device to this
They will
IP?
be, they will be communicate. They
They
can
will
control
communicate.
your
There will be outbound communication, which is C2 that we talked about. So from there, they can control your device, and you can see the location, Brazil, Netherlands, and everything. So now click on the behavior. So now you can see like different sandbox environments. So let's go to community. Sometimes the people in the community will drop some information about the malware. Like you can see a year ago, scroll down. Like, so some of them you might have access to them. Like scroll down, you will see all the comments. So you can see it says Vadic malware, score 100, MS word, and click show more for you to see more. So now, like you see, this sometimes you can just go to some of these sites to see whatever you have there in maybe your sandbox environment. So now this is how you can use OSINT to even get more information about what you call it, about this particular malicious file. So in this case, like you can even go up, screenshot some of these important ones and put it on your analysis. So what are you trying to do? You are trying to tell anybody that is going through your ticket, like, you know what, you did a good job. You even use OSINT to pull out more information about this particular malware. So let's go back to the alert. So now, so what do you think happened there? Did they quarantine the device? Did they quarantine, what's it called? The particular file?
Yes.
Yes, the vendor detected and quarantined.
Detected. Yeah. So next, what happened after? We can continue.
So we have this AI.exe.
Okay. Is it a legitimate tool?
We have to find out. Now,
so before you find out, expand out that AI.exe. So now what can we say? Is it legitimate or not?
It's legitimate.
So the company is Microsoft.
Yeah, which is being owned by Microsoft. So, and it says local artificial intelligence host for Microsoft Windows, blah, 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 blah. So now, like, if you go up a bit, so now, like, that one spawned this particular activity. So scroll down. So now, what happened here? You can see another script as well, expanding. So what do we think happened here as well? We can see another script in here. Is it the same as the other script we saw earlier on? I'm not too sure. You need to verify that one. So
Did I do that quickly?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to the alert. Yeah. So now if you go up a bit, I think the AI one.
Oh.
So now, what do we think that 21292 is? Yeah.
This
Yeah. What do we think that one is? Yeah. Can you scroll up a bit? Let's see, maybe we can find it.
Is it like a process ID?
I don't know. You're asking me a question. Yeah, I don't know that. I'm asking you a question. So go up. Let's see. Maybe you will see it, and maybe that's the right answer. I don't know. But anyone, scroll up. So do you think it's a process ID?
No,
Yeah,
because I
don't. What? So do you think it's a process ID? Yes or no? So what you really need is confidence. Just it's process ID. I just left it out intentionally. Just like if anybody is going to pick it up while reading the command line. So let's go down back to the alert. Because may I say like it was spawned by that process, like obviously it's still the same process. So you can use one PID to track every activity that happened. Everything will be linked together. So now scroll down, let's continue to yeah. So now we can see the WMI again. Then scroll down. Then this was prevented by the Defender for Endpoint. So now this is how you analyze. And when you are writing your analysis, you have to document everything, even the encoded one, you break it down. The one the attacker was doing reconnaissance, you break it down, then explain, okay, yeah, this is a VBA script. So now if you don't understand VBA script, I would say, because we talked about this too, like talking about macros earlier on. So now you copy it. You see that an active office WMI PowerShell malware. Copy that one too. Use Google to break it down for you. You want to understand everything you have right in front of you. So now this is a use case scenario during your interview that you can use to explain to anybody and explain to them, you know what, in this case, the defender quarantined it. But when you went to Virus Total, you saw some of the things that would have happened if defender did not quarantine it, would have communicated with maybe 2 or 3 IPs. Then in this case, say as a threat hunter, what do you think we need to do to those IP? Now, because someone has downloaded this in our environment, that particular IP we saw earlier, what do you think we need to do to the IP? Anyone? Go to
we need
Virus Total. So go to is it details? So no, relationship under relations, I think. Yeah, so what do you think we need to do to these 3 IPs?
we
Block
need to
them.
block them in our environment.
Yeah. So now that's how you do like a bit of threat hunting while you are doing your using OSINT tool. Yeah. What I'll just come back to my environment because now someone went to this particular website. So let's say the defender didn't prevent it. Obviously, the device will be compromised. So in that case, you can copy that to .1.1833. Copy it and lock it on defender. Let's see. Yeah, you can put a method there. You can put, say you have this incident number, you can put it there. So now next. Yeah. So now, everyone, what are you going to select here?
Command and control.
Command and control. Spot on. Yeah. And click on it. So now, before you go, now you see that generate alert. What do you think will happen if anybody should go to this particular website?
It's going to
Alert will
generate
be
an alert.
generated.
It's going to generate an alert. If it generates an alert, what will you do as an analyst?
We'll jump on it and look at it, and then also try to understand why we have users trying to still go into the get into the website.
Okay. Yeah. So now imagine it might not even be related to to this particular document again. They might be using that IP again for another malicious activity. Maybe another user downloaded another file entirely different from this one. They might still be using the IP, might still be active. So that's why you have to check. So now this is now based on threat intelligence. So now click on next. Next. And yeah. So now we've blocked this across our estate. And in this case, we're only blocking it on all the devices that are onboarded to this particular ADR. So let's say you have a server that is not onboarded to this particular ADR and someone downloaded that malicious file. Do you think there's going to be communication to this particular IP?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
So let's say we have a server that we did not onboard to our EDR because now we blocked this IP on EDR, right? So now let's say we have a server that is not onboarded to EDR and someone downloaded this particular file. What do you think will happen?
That server?
Yeah. Do you think communication will go to this IP? I would.
Sure. Yes.
Yes. So now in that case, where else do we have to block this?
On our proxy.
Another place that is highly important.
Firewall.
Firewall. Yeah. So now when you block your firewall, then nobody will have access anymore within your environment. So these are like the questions that they can ask you. And so now let me give you another question. So now let's say now we've blocked this IP and I received this particular file, say on my maybe like iPad or maybe like Android, or maybe like I open my what's it called? I open my Office on my email, and I downloaded this file from my email onto my personal laptop. What do you think will happen?
If we've blocked it on the proxy or the firewall, it won't go through. But if we only block it on the endpoint.
Now listen to the question. Let's say I downloaded it to my personal computer from my email, from my own personal computer. What do you think will happen?
They'll be able to take, personal computer, depending on if that computer is onboarded or not. If it's not onboarded,
my personal computer will not be onboarded to the work environment. So that means it's going to compromise my own device. Yeah. On my device. Same way, like if you click on a phishing link using your mobile phone and your mobile phone is not being onboarded to the MDM solution, you are going to compromise your Office email and might not be able to detect it because you are using your phone that is not onboarded. So you see like the gaps that we have within the security. So they can ask you questions like, okay, how will you prevent this? In that case, I'll just say like, okay, we can put a security policy whereby the only way you can have access to your Teams or to your email on your phone is for you to onboard your device to the ADR. in some of the jobs I did in the past, I didn't put Teams on my phone because for me to have Teams on my phone, they want me to onboard my device to their MDM and to say, okay, is this compliant? Just like the way like we saw with the entire Bolaji's iPad. So we need to understand like patience. If they ask you any question, take your time, then break it down, then now answer them. So what do we think about this alert so far? I know we didn't have any break, and this is a lot to take in as well. And so is there any question? I know we should have 5 minutes, 10 minutes break, but I'll use the next 4 minutes or so, then we end the lecture and we use the rest as our break. So is there any question about what we've done today? And can anyone confidently jump on any alert and just break it down, the command line you have there, like say maybe like say 60%?
Yes.
Anyone?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes,
Yeah.
we can do it. Can try to
So
do it.
like I said, you
Oga should not be the one talking. All right. So at least 50%. I've been a bit quiet because I is a bit is new to me, this particular one. So I hope maybe if we can probably do it one more time, but I believe we'll do it with the group to learn further on here. But if we can have a session one more time, at least maybe we just stick. The aspect of the code reading is the one that I will probably love, you to help us one more time.
Yeah, so the main is just like the more you play with, let me share my screen. So the more you play
I
with,
have one question when you're
okay,
done, sir, boss.
yeah, the more you play with the more you play with these two, you get to just understand this more and more. Like if you see like this is Enron. This is where I downloaded that Emotet one from. Like I downloaded it this morning to my device. Like the device I told you about the last time, like the AD join device. Like say you work in an organization whereby if they give you a device, like this is the device, like a corp environment. Like you can see, like everything. That's the device joined to AD and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now this is where I downloaded that malicious file. This is the Emotet document that I opened, and this has been quarantined. Like like we saw quarantined on what's it called, on EDR.
Yeah.
So if you come here, you are going to see it as well. So I disabled a lot of what's it called, the EDR, but it's still going to pick some of them. Like so, what can we see here? And you can see here again, quarantined. This is what happened. So that's why like you didn't see this particular file on this device again. It was here before, the EEMO document and everything. If you go to what's it called, back to Defender, you tell it to release it, you are going to see that particular file here. So like you can spin up what's it called, a virtual box environment and log in and download anything you want there. But before you do, make sure you onboard that device to EDR. When you download, come to what's it called? Come to this place, any Dostron. This one I just set the search to cover file at Microsoft Office. You can even set it to verdict to malicious. But in this case, I didn't say like just search. So now look at this. This was one I downloaded. I don't know anything about that alert before. Not like maybe like for example, say I know about this alert before. If you check the time, I just did it this morning. I think few minutes to the what's it called? To the training. Because if you can see the time, 11:58 and everything, like that was when I started this particular alert, and I was able to break it down to you for you to understand as well. So like you can come here, check And when you download, I think the password is going to be infected. Then on that particular device, download 7-zip in there and perform the activity. For example, this is a good one as well. I think this one is XLSX. These are what's it called? Excel documents. So now if I click on this one, it's going to open it for me in another page entirely. So from there, I can see, like, if you move your what's it called like this, you will see the activity. Okay, this is the file. Then you will see what the user or what the person did while he was interacting with this particular file. So now this person clicked on view in the browser. The moment you clicked on view in browser, what did we see here? Like chase.com online banking. Then what else? It says, oops, you clicked on a simulation or a simulated phishing test. So this is a simulation phishing test. So imagine, like, say this is malicious and someone within your environment clicked on it, it's going to compromise their device. So in this case like this, we are going to see a lot like this whereby they are performing what is it called? They are performing a phishing simulation test whereby you are going to send it to everybody within your organization. So in this case, this XLS is related to what? Phishing simulation. So you can look for another one. So now this one will not compromise your device because it's a test. It's a test file. So another one, this is another emotet. You can see macros open and emotet doc. So like, you know, I told you yesterday, like you can click on this tag as well. You see this one, this is another sample.bin. So click on it, download it on that virtual box and run it. You have like see a lot of emotet, one word, this one, and just download it. And when you download it to your device, and for example, when you download, let me see, maybe I can. So if you unzip it, it might give maybe like mo.doc.bin. So when you have that, just delete the .bin at the back, then leave it there, open the file, enable the macros, and you will see the wonders that will happen. Backend, go to the EDR, go and check the alert, and from there you analyze whatever happened there. If you are not too sure, if you don't know what is happening, then schedule a meeting with me, drop a message for me on Teams, then we'll find a time to jump on it. And the team that I saw yesterday, that you guys that were doing a meeting online, like I would say that's good, and I would say just keep it up. So I will be rounding up here today. So look for a team. And even if you have like what's it called, a device that you know you are not using at home, like you're not going to use for the next 3 months, you can do all this activity on it to download everything there. But before you do, please onboard the device to EDR. So, and later when you are done with the training, you can go and format that laptop. Don't use that laptop for any personal activity. Just use it mainly for all this testing. With that, you'll be able to explain anything to anybody. So now let's say, for example, now quick one before we go, 2 minutes before I leave. So for example, I can cook a phishing scenario right now on my head. And I would like you to tell me, maybe I was lying or is the real scenario with the emotet one that happened. So now this is a scenario, an alert triggered. So when this alert triggered in Defender, I picked the alert up in Defender, or two, let's say the alert triggered and generated an alert, a ticket in ServiceNow, any ticketing tool of your choice. From there, I picked up this alert. Then when I picked up this alert, I saw like, okay, the user downloaded a particular, clicked on a link, or maybe a user downloaded this particular file from the ADR, or when I was working on the device, when I checked the device timeline, I could see this came from the Outlook, then to the device, then the user opened this malicious emoted document. When the user opened this malicious document, I could see some other malicious activity on the device timeline. So for example, you know, all those ones we saw. I don't know, can you share your screen back, Ahmed, so I can use that screen to do my explanation or to do the scenario, if you are there. So now, like if you scroll up, then click, okay. So when I picked up the alert, I went to Defender. I saw that the user opened a Word document, and I saw some command lines like -n and file download and mo.doc then /o. So then after that, I saw some other process running whereby it was doing reconnaissance, like maybe like WMI querying Windows 32 computer systems and physical memory and disk drive and computer system product. Then from there, I saw like an encoded base 64. What I did was I took this base 64 to CyberChef and I decoded the file. Then this happened. It was saying like set variable to system.io.directory. Then from there, I left this on the ticket. Then when I checked, okay, I saw the website whereby the user downloaded it from. Okay, no, okay, I think I made a mistake there. We are talking about Outlook. So in this case, it was from the Outlook. So what I did was I had to go to the user's email address to delete all this file, or sorry, this email from the user's inbox. Then at the same time, when I checked the device, the EDR quarantined this particular file already. So that means there's a signature of this on our Microsoft Defender. So if it is on any other device out there, Defender is going to quarantine it. But what I had to do was I had to check how many users received this email within the organization. Then I saw it was just this user alone that received this email. So what I did was I deleted email from this user's inbox. Then I blocked the sender so he could not send email to our organization anymore. So like you see, simple and easy, how you can use any scenario to answer your interview because you understand the basic. But if you don't understand the foundation, you are going to struggle. So when you understand this, you can create any scenario. I can give you another scenario using the same document. So there's a user, for example, when you are doing your interview, I'm not going to mention the name of the user. So now this user downloaded a file from the internet. It's a Word document. Then the user worked in the HR department. So what he was looking for was a particular template. Then he downloaded it from the website. So what I did was, in this case, it was prevented, quarantined. Well, every other thing I explained earlier, like, okay, the WMI querying and encoding, decoding, you're going to add every bit. But in this case, you are going to tell them like, okay, the user downloaded it from this particular website. What did I do? I blocked this particular website on our proxy, then I blocked it on the EDR. Then at the same time, I checked how many people went to this particular website in the last 30 days within the organization just to see. Then at the end, it was just this user alone. Then at the end, what did I do? I did user awareness training for the user. So next time when you see if when you want to download it, send it to us, let us confirm if this is malicious before you even open the file. So in this case, like you've done your end-to-end explanation to them, what you did. Now you will see like star action was involved. Then at the same time, we follow the incident response process, which is all this identification, containment, eradication, and lessons learned. Like you see how I covered everything just by explaining. So if you can explain like that, nobody's going to question you because obviously, even if they ask you, like, tell me the NIST framework or SANS framework, already they know you know what you're talking about, but you might not be able to tell them like word to word from A to Z. So that's why I said, if you understand the foundation, you can cook any scenario, use any document to explain even phishing end-to-end. You want to even lead to malware compromise. So now you see, I've given you 2 use cases. So now you to go and create 2, 3, 4 use cases when it even comes to phishing that led to malware, whereby the user downloaded something from their email. Create another user whereby user submitted credential. Create another use case whereby user submitted credential and MFA that they capture the session. Write everything down line by line, then read it to yourself. If you are struggling with it, call me. Let's do it together. But before you call me, please make sure you've done like maybe 60% or 50% of that use case, then work on it. So now when you go, before you go for interview, you can jump on it and start like, okay, this is what I would do one after the other. That's end to end. So I think we'll be stopping here today. And if you have any question, then next 1 minute I can answer before I jump off. Any question? Yeah, if there's none, I will say we'll catch up next week as well. Same time. Then
Okay.
the last one, like if you're part of the people that started the trading earlier and if you have not paid or completed, if you've not said anything, I'll be revoking the access maybe by Wednesday or Friday as well. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you so
Okay,
much,
boss. Thank
boss.
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
fully